Prepare to have your mind blown. Forests are not just collections of individual trees. They're vast, intricate communication networks. Imagine walking through a forest. The sunlight filters through a canopy of green. The air is thick with the scent of earth, and all around you, silence reigns. But what if this silence is an illusion? What if beneath your feet and all around you, an invisible network is alive with whispers, messages, and signals, a hidden conversation unfolding between the trees? The forest, as it turns out, isn't silent at all. It's talking, and we're only just beginning to understand its language. For most of human history, we thought trees were static tall, silent, and self-contained. But modern science has shattered that illusion. Deep beneath the forest floor lies a living internet, a vast web of fungi and roots linking trees into a single, connected organism. Scientists call it the mycorrhizal network, but many now refer to it more poetically, the Wood Wide Web. Through this network, trees don't just exist. They communicate, share, and even care for each other in ways that seem almost intelligent. Let's start with one of the most astonishing discoveries. Trees share nutrients. When a tree captures sunlight and turns it into sugar, it doesn't always keep it for itself. Studies have shown that trees connected by this underground network can send carbon, nitrogen, and water to other trees that need it more. A large, healthy tree might channel food to a shaded or struggling neighbor, almost as if lending a helping hand. In one incredible example, scientists found that even stumps, trees that were cut down long ago, can remain alive for years, sustained entirely by the roots of nearby trees still feeding them. Imagine that a forest where even the fallen are cared for. This network is not just about generosity. It's also about warning and survival. When a tree is attacked by insects or disease, it can send out chemical signals through its roots or even through the air to warn its neighbors. For example, when acacia trees in Africa are grazed upon by giraffes, they release volatile chemicals into the air. These compounds drift to nearby trees, triggering them to produce bitter-tasting tannins to deter the same predators. It's as if the trees are saying, "Watch out, danger's coming." Above ground, a similar chemical conversation unfolds through the release of volatile organic compounds, or VOCs. These invisible scents are the tree's version of speech, carrying messages through the air to other plants. Below ground, fungi serve as the couriers. The symbiotic relationship between trees and fungi is one of the most extraordinary partnerships in nature. The fungi provide the trees with essential nutrients from the soil: phosphorus, nitrogen, and trace minerals, while the trees repay them with sugar produced through photosynthesis. But what scientists didn't expect was that these fungi could also act as conduits for information, transmitting chemical signals from one tree to another. This means that a forest is not a random collection of trees, but a living, breathing community. And within that community, some trees play bigger roles than others. Ecologists have identified what they call mother trees, the oldest, largest trees in the forest that act as central hubs in this vast communication network. These matriarchs connect to hundreds of other trees, sharing nutrients, sending distress signals, and even favoring their own offspring. In experiments, when mother trees were injured or dying, they sent extra carbon and defense signals to their seedlings, almost as though they were ensuring the next generation would survive after they were gone. The implications of this are profound. If trees can recognize kin, respond to danger, and share resources intentionally, then our understanding of intelligence in nature might need rewriting. While it's not consciousness in the human sense, it's a form of biological awareness, a networked intelligence born from cooperation and balance rather than competition. And the forest communication doesn't stop underground. Sound waves, light signals, and even electrical impulses are part of this complex web. Some studies have suggested that trees can detect the sound of running water through vibrations in the soil, directing their roots toward it. Others show that they emit low-frequency clicks, almost like heartbeats, that may help coordinate growth or communication. It's as though the forest hums with invisible life, a rhythm that we are only just beginning to hear. But why does this matter? Because when we understand that trees are connected, that forests are communities, our relationship with them changes. Deforestation, for instance, doesn't just mean cutting down individual trees. It means severing countless invisible connections that sustain life. Every time we destroy a patch of forest, we're not just taking wood. We're silencing a network millions of years in the making. There's a powerful lesson in this hidden world, one that extends beyond ecology into the way we view our own societies. The forest thrives through cooperation. Trees of different species share, support, and protect one another. In a time when competition often defines human progress, perhaps the forest is showing us a different kind of intelligence, one rooted in balance, connection, and mutual care. The concept of the wood wide web might sound like science fiction, but it's grounded in decades of research. Pioneering ecologists like Dr. Suzanne Samar have used radioactive carbon tracing to prove that trees exchange resources underground. Her experiments showed that birch and fir trees, often seen as competitors, actually trade carbon, seasonally birch feeding fir in summer when it's shaded, and fir returning the favor in winter. Nature, it seems, is built on reciprocity, not rivalry. Next time you walk through a forest, try to listen. Beneath the crunch of leaves and the rustle of branches, a conversation is unfolding. You might not hear it with your ears, but it's happening. Messages traveling through networks of roots and fungi, chemicals drifting through the air, and signals pulsing beneath the soil. Scientists are still uncovering how far this communication goes. Could trees in different ecosystems share information? Can they adapt collectively to climate change through these networks? Early evidence suggests they might. When one part of a forest experiences drought, the signals transmitted underground can cause trees far away to close their stomata, tiny openings in their leaves, conserving water before the drought even reaches them. It's a kind of anticipatory behavior that borders on the remarkable. This understanding has already begun to change forestry and conservation. Instead of planting isolated trees, ecologists now emphasize preserving the network, protecting the soil fungi, the mother trees, and the relationships between species. Because when we preserve the network, we preserve the resilience of the entire ecosystem. At its core, the story of the silent language of trees is not just about plants. It's about connection, the idea that no living thing exists alone. Whether the towering redwood or a humble mushroom, everything in nature is linked through invisible threads of exchange and communication. We're part of that web, too. Our breath feeds the trees, their oxygen sustains us, and our actions ripple through the same system that sustains life itself. The next time you stand beneath a forest canopy, take a moment to pause. You're standing inside one of the most complex communication networks on Earth. Around you, countless messages are being sent, of warning, of generosity, of life itself. The trees are speaking. The forest is alive. And maybe if we learn to listen, we'll finally understand what it's been trying to tell us all along.
If you find this video informative, please hit the like button, subscribe this channel, and feel free to share your comments.